Two sisters were driven to action after reading the outcome of a sexual assault trial in North Vancouver.
Hundreds of people felt the impact of this devastating assault and the reality that this can and does happen often.
I refuse to show survivors that this is the kind of justice you get once you speak up. The victims in this case waited 2 years for their justice, and this is what they got.
Judge Paul Myers sentenced a young man to serve 2 weeks in youth detention after finding him guilty of sexual assault, despite a recommended 3-year sentence by the Crown.
For 2 years, this offender has been circulating in our community free on bail, and now, after waiting, we learn he'll serve merely 2 weeks.
Family of the victims and speakers addressed the effects of the ruling while calling for accountability for perpetrators.
His actions were degrading and wrong that night. The judge's actions are degrading and wrong today. It's time to raise our voices, sign our petitions, and tell the world survivors matter.
You see, we were victorious when this young man was convicted on all counts, proven guilty. Only the victory became darkened by injustice when this joke of a sentence was handed down.
The two female victims cannot be named due to a publication ban.
These two brave young women who were subject to sexual abuse by their classmate and work colleague came forward not only for their own personal justice, but for all women who ever experienced sexual assault and violence in our community.
Justice for survivors!
Shame on Paul Myers!
Ladies, let me hear you say no means no!
No means
2 weeks. I can get 2 weeks for a simple property break and enter.
It's unreasonable to think that we wouldn't protect the women in our society.
People! People! People!
Want to see women feeling like they can come out and say something and not be victim blamed and not have any shred of doubt to whether or not they were asking for it.
Around 200 people gathered outside Vancouver's provincial court to protest the injustice of the case and support sexual assault survivors. I'm Kathryn Tindale with the Langara Voice.